everyone, and welcome back to Lucky Loaders 15, where I'll be giving you 3 of my best tips for tomorrow's racing. Now, before we get stuck into that, I quickly just got a couple of things to go through with you. First of all, I want to quickly apologise for not doing any of the Loaders Lane to Cheltenham videos or the eye catchers recently. I just haven't had the time to create that kind of content. Been really busy with work at Sky Sports Racing, and I've got a couple of other things going on in the background. So apologies for not making any of that content, but I'm hoping to be resuming all that in the next couple of weeks. So stay tuned for that, and to not miss out on any of it, make sure if you don't do so already, you subscribe here to my YouTube channel at Lucky Loaders 15. But yeah, that's all I've got to say about that. And before we get into the tips for tomorrow, I just quickly want to reflect on how our selections performed today. We've still got one tip that runs tonight at Southwell in the 750 with a horse called Sea of Mystery. Is my next best, and last time I saw was around about a 4-1 chance, so fingers crossed we can get a winner there. But it's not been a bad day for us today. We've come out with some profit yet again. Our nap of the day was Miss Amelia at Banger on D for Henry Brook, and Mark Wolford was a really convincing winner in the end. The victory never looked in doubt, and that was a nice one to collect there. I know some of you were on it, and also as well, you must have supported it because the price really did contract. I think final SP was around about 9.4, so put up at 7-2 last night. Was quite fancy strong lead all day, and in the end did the job very nicely. And also as well, we had a little bit of profit to collect at Banger on D in the shape of our Longshot. We put Morning Spirit up at 17-2 each way, and he was able to collect the place money by finishing in 3rd place. I thought at one point he was travelling so lovely into the race, John Joe Neal was going to get the job done for us, but in the end he just got outstayed by a couple of progressive tights, and in the end it wasn't a bad performance, and we did pick up a bit of place money there, so that wasn't too bad there. And also as well, the other tip, the only one that did let us down today, but he ran a fair race to be fair to the old boy, was Wazowski. He finished in 4th place, but in the end he just bumped into a better handicapped horse in the shape of Dalaman. So yeah, not been a bad day today, had a few profits here and there, and fingers crossed we can continue that form into tomorrow's racing. So let's get into the tips for tomorrow, and we're going to be starting with my nap of the day, which runs in the 1:15 at Nottingham with a horse called So I Told You. I'm making this video just after 6:30, and the current price of this horse at the time of recording was 6-1, and that was with Skybet, who are offering 4 places on this race. And I'm going to recommend an each way selection for Will Buick, who's chasing Oisin Murphy in the Jockeys Championship. He's going to need to have a good couple of weeks if he's going to catch him. It is doable, but Oisin will probably have to perform under par, and Will Buick would probably have to have the week or 2 of his life. But Will Buick is going to be riding our horse tomorrow for Richard Hughes in the Flaxman Stables colours, and Richard Hughes' team haven't been in bad form. They're currently operating at 23% strike rate in the last fortnight. But going back to this horse, So I Told You, you might remember I actually put this filly up at Windsor last time out, where arguably I think she wasn't given the best of rides by Pat Dobbs. He's not my favourite jockey in the world, and he never gave this filly a smooth passage at all. She looked like she was travelling quite nicely into the race, and I was also as well a bit disappointed that she wasn't trying to make cool. And if you go back and watch the race replay, she was still there with every chance, and then he goes towards the far side rail and he's looking for a gap, and that gap never came. And then when he did get clear, the first 2 home that day had already gone and they weren't for catching. So I think you can mark up that performance if this filly was given a better ride, and I think in this field tomorrow she represents quite a bit of value. Now if we go back through some of her form, she's got some good form from last season. She won at the course here on heavy ground, so that's a massive positive there. And also as well, she was competing in higher quality fields. She actually ran in the listed Lingfield Oaks trial, which actually turned out not to be a bad race, because Miss Yoda from John Gosden's yard went on to win the Group 1 German Oaks. Okay, it might not have been the strongest race of all time over there, and it's probably not really a quality Group 1 compared to racing in the UK or France, but still nonetheless she wasn't too far beaten by a Group 1 winner. And off a mark of 84, you think she might have a few pounds in hands there. She's actually been dropped a pound from her run last time at Windsor, and after a couple of goes in listed company and also as well at Royal Ascot, she's had a break for a few months, and I think she ran respectably enough at Windsor to suggest that she still comes in here showing quite a lot of ability. And this isn't a particularly strong race, I thought. I know the James Fanshawe filly will attract a lot of punters tomorrow to get stuck into that one, but I think So I Told You should be the one we should be back in here, and hopefully it lives up to the name, So I Told You. But if you go and look into the data a little bit more, So I Told You actually ran a really quick time, and she wasn't given a hard ride in the closing stages at all. Pat Dobbs had pretty much thrown in the town in the last furlong, so I think tomorrow she's going to probably strip slightly fitter for that run, and I think this is going to be the time to catch her. And with Will Buick as well, riding really well at the moment, you know, he's trying to close that gap. I just think there's a lot of things in the horse's favour tomorrow. Likes the ground, will be comfortable over trip. If she can get in a good prominent position, I wouldn't want her to be held up. I want her to be up there, maybe not making the pace, but just tracking it. If she can do that, I think she's got a great chance tomorrow, and she'll be able to use her stamina as well over the trip for good effect. So I'm really sweet on her chances tomorrow. I just pray that Will Buick can give her a better ride, because I think she is better than her mark of 84. So that's going to be the tip there. We then go to Taunton for the first race with my long shot there tomorrow in the 114. Now this is an amateur and conditionals race, but the one I quite liked at a bit of a price here was a horse called If Karls Berg Did. So obviously named after the Karls Berg slogan, but this horse, going back to him, is trained by Milton Harris, and Harry Kimber is booked for the ride tomorrow, who is normally attached to Colin Tizard, and I think he is a lad you want to be keeping on side. I remember last season he did me a couple of favours, but going back to this horse, If Karls Berg Did, going to be making his handicap debut tomorrow off a mark of 110, but this race isn't lacking that much depth to it. I know Night Commander will be really popular for Katie Powell, obviously going for her third career win on the horse in the space of about a week or so. But If Karls Berg Did has been running okay in some novice hurdles this season, and even though yes he was well beaten by the winner at Newton Abbot last time out by Sunrise Ruby, that horse went on to win again at Kempton on her next start, and even Muna Baroda didn't run he didn't run a bad race at a Wincanton in the 2-runner field next time out. So yeah, it's not a bad level of form that, and this race wouldn't take too much winning. And I think off a mark of 110, if he can replicate the races he's run in those novice hurdles, he can be more than capable in this company. And Harry Kimber as well is a good jockey. And I think the way that he travels into his races as well, he's been a strong traveller. You want to travel well at Taunton. It's a real galloping track, and normally the horses that do best are the strong travelling types. And I think If Karls Berg Did tomorrow, he's got a good chance in this race. You can get 20 to 1 with Skybet at the moment, who are offering 5 places, and I think that's some good value there. And Milton Harris as well, his stable haven't been in too bad form. I remember they had a juvenile at Lingfield last week who went very close. So yeah, I think there's a lot of things tomorrow in this horse's favour, and they've thrown him in a winnable race for him to do well in. So yeah, I'd be disappointed if he couldn't at least make the frame tomorrow if Karls Berg Did, and he's going to be my long shot of the day. Currently 20 to 1, 5 places, Skybet. So that's the long shot of the day. We then go with the next best, which runs later on in the card. Down there in Somerset in the 410 with a horse called Schnabel for Brian Carver, claiming 5, and he's riding Tom Simmons. You can currently back this horse at 11 to 2, and I'm going to recommend a win-only bet. Now this horse was previously with trainer David Dennis and has now moved to Tom Simmons, and has done really well this season. Has won a couple of starts, finished second as well, where he actually finished second last time at Fontwell, but he got promoted because the winner who passed the line that day, Pontresina, was disqualified. However, that horse went on to win her next start at Kempton, so that wasn't a bad level of form. And even Buster Edwards ran respectably at Cheltenham in a deeper race than this. Now, Schnabel, he's just a horse that keeps progressing, and Brian Carver is put tomorrow claiming £5, and he's definitely going to have a crack at the Conditional Jockeys Championship this season. Very good rider, getting plenty of opportunities with some top yards, including Paul Nicholls, you know, so he's one to keep on side, and he's definitely worth his £5 claim. And also as well as Tom Simmons is a yard I like. They are really going places now. I think they've got a nice horse out later in the week who was really progressive last year called Song for Someone, and his yard have been amongst the winners of late. They had a winner earlier today, I believe. I think it was a banger it was, but they definitely had a winner today. So the yard definitely one to keep on side at the moment, and they've been in form. And this Schnabel, even though yes, he is going to have to probably run a career best, I wouldn't put it past him. He's been running really well. We know he stays. The ground should be not a problem for him too. And with Brian Carver claiming a handy £5, I think there could be a little bit more to eke out from this horse, and his form reads quite well in the context of this race. So 11-2 tomorrow, he's going to be my next best, and fingers crossed we can get a winner there. So I'll quickly just recap through the selections tomorrow. In the 1:15 at Nottingham, we go with my nap. So I told you, 6-1 each way, 4 places Skybet. We then don't have to wait too long for the long shot of the day, which is if Karls Berg did at 20-1 each way, 5 places Skybet, and the 140 at Taunton. And then in the 4:10 at Taunton, we go with Schnabel for Brian Carver and Tom Simmons. Currently back the horse at 11-2, and that's going to be my next best of the day. So they're the 3 tips for tomorrow's racing. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button if you're liking these videos, and remember not to forget to subscribe here to my YouTube channel at LuckyLoader15. And if you want to know a little bit more about me, you can check out my website, which is www.chrisloaderracing.co.uk, and you can follow me on Twitter as well, where my handle is at LuckyLoader15. So please gamble responsibly. Hopefully we can have some winners tomorrow, and we'll be seeing you soon.